I went back to my ex. Why? Why? All despair aside, fake E3 season is technically over. While we still haven't heard or seen anything from Nintendo, and I do believe that their Direct will most likely be a banger full of surprises, if we're taking a snapshot view of what's happened so far, Xbox hands down delivered on what they needed to do. In my earlier video talking about showcase predictions, I mentioned how Xbox needs to focus on building confidence in their platform. And the only way they can do this is not with some corporate speak about how many Xbox users are logged in on a monthly basis, a term that's about as cloudy and confusing as string theory. Does it present an opportunity for a unified theory of reality? Does that number count include people playing Minecraft on their PlayStation and mobile phones? But by showcasing great games that generate excitement. And whether you plan on playing these games on an Xbox or on your PC, there's a strong chance that just like me, this showcase left you wondering, should I sign up for Game Pass again? Game Pass. Well, what did I do? I went and bought an Xbox, and I know why. Why did I go out and spend $450 on an Xbox? Now, hear me out. It was $50 off at Walmart, so I did jump on that deal. But again, why? I've had a Series X since launch, and over the last year, with my baby on the way and having a cornucopia of options to play what few Xbox games I wanted to play, I thought, do I really need the Series X? I have a Steam Deck, I have a PC. Do I need an actual Xbox? And while my PC could easily handle these games, there's something nice about sitting on a couch and playing after a long day of working while sitting at my PC. I just need to step away sometimes, okay? Hear me out. Also, I may be an idiot, but either way, if I want to cover games for you, the viewer, I should have this stuff, right? That's at least what I'm telling myself. And why did I do it again? Well, it's because that showcase showed off an amazing bevy of games that I want to talk about for a bit, at least the highlights, because there was a lot of games shown. Many of which I'll say I accurately predicted earlier this month, but hey, we don't have to go there right now. But will these games change the course of Xbox over the next year? I'd say yes and no. And we'll get into that near the end of the video, but for now, let's hit the highlights. Starting off with Doom: The Dark Ages. This game just looks fantastic. I am personally excited about getting a peek into the origins of the Doom Slayer. I know some people don't need that amount of lore in a Doom game, but I'll take it. And the new shield-based combat just looks freaking awesome too. And the trailer was just amazing as well. It just kept ramping up and ramping up and ramping up until that ultimate epic climax with the dragon spitting fire down the demon's throat. I freaking loved it. Now, if I haven't made this clear, Doom 2016 and Eternal are some of my favorite games of all time, and what a way to kick off this showcase with that banger of a reveal. Next, we got another game I said we should expect to see an update on, and that was State of Decay 3. Now, I've only played a bit of State of Decay 2 with some of my friends at DevHour Games, and it was a great time. But what really gets me excited is hearing how Undead Labs is working on improving every aspect of the game. They're working with Coalition for the game in terms of assets and utilization of Unreal Engine 5. That's the team behind Gears of War. So it should be a gorgeous fun time. And additionally, they're working with Obsidian on the shared world feature of this game as well. Now, a common criticism of State of Decay 2 was how it managed its live world multiplayer aspects, and Obsidian coming in with the great work they've done with Grounded is a sure sign that they're working to improve this sequel from all possible angles. Now, we also got news on their Starfield Shattered Space DLC coming later this year as well, and I'm not the biggest Starfield fan, and I'm really not the biggest Bethesda fan, but I will say out of all of the Bethesda RPGs I've played, I had the most fun with Starfield. I actually completed it, which says a lot for me. And the horror space vibes of this DLC is definitely giving me some good vibes as well, so I'll be checking it out when that drops at some point in September, October. Now, a game that was a bit of a surprise that we learned about was Clair Obscur Expedition 33, a French RPG, so an FRPG, I'm gonna call it that. And as this trailer played, I thought, okay, this game looks really cool, it looks interesting, that's some really awesome looking environments and enemies, but boom, when we saw the combat, I became very intrigued. It has this unique looking turn-based battle system that I am looking forward to checking out when it drops in 2025 as well. Now, another one we got an update on that I am very excited about is South of Midnight. It first appeared last year with a very short story segment trailer showing no gameplay, and I don't even know if it showed any of the characters as well. But this year we got a great look at its character action-driven gameplay, and it looks phenomenal. Additionally, I'm in love with this art direction. It's definitely imitating that Spider-Man Spider-Verse comic book frame rate skip vibe, and I think it's a great utilization of that style in this gaming format. But oh no. This showcase didn't stop there. We had Doom, we had all these other great games I mentioned, and then boom, we got Perfect Dark. And my gosh, does it look like it's in a great state. Now, there was some disagreement leading up to this. Was it in bad state? Was it in a good state? But it really seems like this game is near close to being finished. And in my previous video, I asked, what type of game will this be? Will they just try to make it like any other flagship shooter with multiplayer modes monetized out the wazoo? Well, it seems like they're taking a different approach and really leaning into what really makes Perfect Dark. It has a lot of awesome Hitman vibes almost, like it could be an immersive sim game. A portion of the game was dedicated to Agent Dark, utilizing a bunch of futuristic spy gear, and the second half of the game ripped open with a bunch of high-flying FPS action. To say the least, I am very excited. After that, we had Fable, a game I don't think I have to say much about. Many of us who grew up with the Xbox 360 loved the first and second game, and in this one we got another look at gameplay, even though it was similar to last year's trailer in terms of how it delivered its narrative piece. But I love the twist at the end. It looks like they may be hinting at a return of an original villainess. You know, some sites are saying it's Jack of Blades because of the scarlet robe and glow, but Jack was a guy, so could it be the Queen of Blades? Could it be someone else from the Knight of Blades? I don't know, but either way, I love the original Fable, and I'm excited to dive into the world of Albion again soon. There was another game we got to look at as well that had similar art direction as South of Midnight, and that was Mixtape, a new indie game from Annapurna that promises to mix all of the joy and nostalgia from every 80s movie everywhere, along with a dash of supernatural Stranger Things vibes. And talk about an amazing soundtrack. That was actually such a key feature of the game. They showcased the bands in the trailer. In a showcase that had a pantheon of Titan-esque IPs and reveals, this somewhat smaller yet fascinating reveal really balanced out the showcase in a way I wasn't expecting. Now, I'm still a bit confused on what type of gameplay we'll see with this one, but either way, I'm definitely interested. Now, the next game has been getting a lot of positive feedback after some major updates of late, and that's Diablo 4. And my gosh, did this DLC reveal trailer for Vessel of Hatred just blow me away. I mean, say what you want about Activision and Blizzard and some of the management issues, but they make some of the best CG game trailers out there. They make some of the best CG segments out there. They are the Pixar of Disney, if not better than Pixar. And this trailer was almost too much. We catch up with Neriel, who is traveling with the Soul Stone that was used to capture Mephisto at the end of the main campaign in Diablo 4, and it looks like the Lord of Hatred himself will now have a bigger role in this expansion DLC. Additionally, it looks like we'll be returning to a realm familiar with many longtime Diablo 2 fans, and that's the jungle region of Natu or Torjin. Now, I've never been much of a seasoned player of Diablo 4. I've always enjoyed these games for their contained stories, and so when I played it once at release, I enjoyed it, made a pretty beefy Blood Barbarian, and did some endgame content, and that was it for me. I've been waiting for this DLC because that's when I was going to jump back into the game, and October can't come soon enough. Now, there were a lot of other games revealed that many folks are excited about, like the remake of Age of Mythology, for example. But the game that truly has me pumped from this showcase is Gears of War E-Day. Now, I wanted a new Gears game, and I was expecting us to hear news about one in this showcase, but like many folks, I figured Gears 6, right? The continuation of the story from where it's been. And while I enjoyed this story told in Gears 4 and 5, what I really disliked about 5 was the non-linear open world segments that just took the energy and excitement out of the traditional roller coaster-like ride a Gears game typically provides. And boy, was I surprised to see not only are developers promising a return to the darker, horror-like linear vibes of the original game, but we're getting a freaking prequel. The trailer was perfect. We see a young Marcus Phoenix and Dom, and the game itself has this brilliant premise. We always heard about E-Day throughout the series, but now we're going to experience it through the eyes of Marcus. And to have a game where a brand new menacing force emerges out of nowhere from below, that just seems like a brilliant story to experience, and I can't wait for this one. That may release sometime in the next 2 years. I mean, that might even be a next-gen game for them. Either way, it created a hunger in me to go back and play the original games again, so that's probably going to be the first thing I do on my Series X once I unbox it and hook it up. Now, to revisit the question from the top of this video, do I think all of these games will drastically change the future of Xbox? I said yes and no, and here's what I mean. I don't think the Xbox direction in terms of their console business will change drastically, at least not for this generation in the foreseeable future. And while Sony's state of play was relatively lukewarm at best compared to this showcase, they're still in a great position, and I still believe they're holding back on a ton of great titles they're waiting to showcase for 2025. But as I've said before, I don't think Microsoft is worried about their consoles alone, and while many of their steps over the past few months haven't been the best in terms of maintaining confidence in the Xbox brand, I do think they'll continue to find success as honestly the biggest gaming publisher and hardware developer out there. But these are just my thoughts. What are yours? What are some of the games from the showcase that have you most excited? Did it make you consider signing up for Game Pass again, as I did? Did it make you buy an Xbox again, as I did? I really hope not, but again, your choice. I'm proud of it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and as always, happy gaming.